Welcome back to another episode of SmoothBrainEDH, where we rate the smoothest plays with the biggest brains. This week, our players continue to explore some of the new commanders from Aetherdrift, so let's see what our players brewed up this time. Are you lacking a pep in your step? Lacking a little bit of energy in your life? Well, I got a solution for you. Saheeli Brand Energy by Saheeli, Radiant Creator. Cast artifacts, make some energy, smash opponent's face.
Hi, I'm Caden. I'm playing Hashaton, Scarab's Fist. You could say we're throwing our creatures in the toilet and we're getting them back.
Greetings! This is Cameron piloting Mono Black 1, also known as the Speed Demon. This list was submitted by our patron, Robbo. This is Mono Black Value. We go fast.
Yar, I'm Captain Sam. Yar, I'm playing Captain Howler, the Sea Scourge. I'm going to discard card and give my crew buffs and hopefully draw some cards along the way.
We're about to hop right into the game. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Only about 30% of our viewers are actually subscribed, which is up 2% from when Duskborn released. To our new subscribers, thank you. If you aren't currently subscribed, please consider doing so. It really goes a long way to support this content. We have links to our social media pages, our free public Discord server, the Decklists, and our Patreon in the description. We're partnered with Dragon Shield. Check out our affiliate link in the description if you're looking to pick up any sleeves, deck boxes, or playmats. And use code SMOOTH5 at checkout for 5% off your order. Now, on to the gameplay.
Alright, let's hop into it. Looks like Cameron wins the die roll, and he'll play a swamp and cast Shadow Spear. For the record, we are treating his swamps as snow swamps, because we couldn't find enough in time. Anyways, the turn is passed to Sam, and he'll play a Fabled Passage and fetch for a Snow Island. Then he'll pass to Ethan, who plays a Ketria Triome, and then he'll pass to Caden, who begins his turn by shocking in a Watery Grave. Then he'll cast Tortured Existence, and then pass to Cameron, who's had some insane top decks. He'll play another Snow Swamp, and then cast Dothy Voidwalker. Aw, poor Caden. Anyways, the turn is passed to Sam, and he'll play a Mountain, then cast Diversion Unit, and then pass to Ethan. Spire Garden Arcane Signet, pass. Is what he does. Then Caden plays a tapped Godless Shrine, then decides to actually shock it in and cast his commander, cause that hoe is 2 mana. He'll then pass, and Cameron will play Urza's Cave and Scrawling Crawler. Rip all card draw. Anyways, the turn is passed to Sam, and he'll play a Prismatic Vista. He'll then cast Brotherhood Regalia, hit Cameron for 2 in the air, and pass to Ethan. He plays an island, then he'll cast Saheeli, Radiant Creator. He'll then pass the turn to Caden, who bides his time by playing a Shipwreck Marsh, and he'll pass. And on Cameron's upkeep, everyone draws a card. Then on first main, he bolts in a Fellmire, then casts Scampering Surveyor to get another Snow Swamp, and then the turn is passed. Sam stops on end step to fetch for another Snow Island, then we'll move to his turn, where he unfortunately misses a land drop, but he will cast Decanter of Endless Water. Then he'll move to combat and swing for 2 over at Cameron in the air, and then he'll pass to Ethan. My boy Ethan will play a Wooded Foothills and then cast Enthusiastic Mechanaut. With this out, he'll cast Talisman of Curiosity and Creativity, and from casting these 3, he'll get 3 energy from Saheeli. Then he'll fetch for a basic forest, and then he'll cast Aetherworks Marvel. And for the record, I don't think he remembers to get a single energy from this thing the whole game. This gets him another energy, and then he'll pass to Caden, who plays a basic island, then he'll cast a Merfolk Looter. And I think Cameron misses a life loss trigger from when Caden drew a card. Anyways, the turn is passed to Cameron, and everyone draws an upkeep and loses life. Then he'll play a Cabal Coffers as land for turn, and then he'll crack his Urza's Cave. Oh boy, I wonder what he's gonna get. Obviously Urborg. Then after this, he'll cast an Anvil of Bogarden. So yeah, draw steps will now be a draw 2, discard 1. The turn is then passed to Sam, and he discards a Fearless Swashbuckler. Then he'll cast a Starting Column, Start Your Engines. Then he'll cast a Ghostly Pilferer. Then Cameron is hit for 2 in the air, speed is gained, and the turn is passed to Ethan. He'll draw 2 and discard a Scalding Tarn. Then he'll play an Aether Hub as land for turn and get another energy. More energy is gained by casting a Fellwar Stone. And would you look at that, he's at 6 energy now, so he activates Aetherworks Marvel. And among the top 6 cards of his library, the card he gets to cast for free is Loot the Pathfinder. After this, Ethan is able to cast Aether Squall Ancient. Then the turn is passed to Caden. He'll draw 2 and discard a Plains. Then he plays a Swamp as land for turn, and then cast a Bone Miser. The turn is then passed to Cameron, and everyone draws and loses. He'll then play another Swamp and then activate Cabal Coffers for 7 mana. He'll then tap for an 8th mana and drop Decree of Pain to destroy everything and draw a few cards. Ethan's the only one with a response, and he'll activate Loot to draw 3 cards. And yeah, so the board is wiped and Cameron draws 11 cards. After this, he'll cast a Jet Medallion, and then the turn is passed to Sam. And Sam starts his turn off by casting Captain Howler, who's then immediately equipped with the Brotherhood Regalia. Also forgot to mention what he discarded to the Anvil. It's a land. And then the turn is passed to Ethan. On draw step, he'll draw 2 and discard a land. Then my beautiful friend will cast an Attune with Aether, and this will get him 2 energy and he finds a mountain, and he'll play that as land for turn. He'll then recast Saheeli for 6 mana, and then he'll also cast P&LR, Chief Mechanic, and this gets him another energy. The turn is then passed to Caden, and on draw step he discards Kiora, the Rising Tide. Then on his turn, he'll play a Gaia Reach Sanitarium and recast his commander. Then the turn is passed to Cameron, and he starts off with a Muraganda Raceway. Engines have been started. He'll then activate Cabal Coffers for 8 mana and cast Psychosis Crawler. And then Lightning Greaves, and the Crawler gets booted up. Cameron will then cast an Archfiend of Depravity. That's not doing too much right now, but anyways, he'll move to combat and swing his Psychosis Crawler over at Sam for 11 and then pass to Sam. On draw step, he'll draw 2 and discard 1, and he misses a Captain Howler trigger. He'll then play Avishkar Raceway, and then cast a Monument to Endurance. He'll also cast his Containment Construct, then move to combat and hit Cameron for 5 Commander. Speed! The turn is then passed to Ethan. He discards a Forest on draw, and then he'll cast a Rush of Inspiration. He'll draw 2 cards and then pay 2 energy to not have to discard. Then after this, he'll cast Panharmonicon, and he gets an energy. And then he'll pass the turn to Caden. He'll draw 2 and discard Archfiend of Ifnir. Oh, look at that, his Commander triggers. He pays the mana. And yes, it should be tapped. Anyways, it's time for Caden to start activating Tortured Existence. He'll pay a black to discard Varuna and return the Archfiend to his hand. Then he discards the Archfiend to get Kiora back. Then he discards Kiora to get Varuna back, and then he discards Varuna to get Kiora back to his hand. TLDR, 4 -1 counters, and he hits Cameron for 1 commander. The turn isn't passed to Cameron, and his discard is a Solemn Simulacrum. He'll then play a Swamp and activate Cabal Coffers for 9 mana. He'll then use 5 of it to cast a Meathook Massacre X is 4. While Sam's not going to be very affected by this immediately, he knows that a Meathook Massacre on the field will gain Cameron life and drain them all even more, so he will Arcane Denial it. After this, Cameron will cast a Momentum Breaker. When it hits the field, everybody has to sacrifice a creature or discard a card if they can't. Sam discards Enter the Enigma and Ethan a land. Sam's Monument will also trigger, and he makes everybody lose 3. After this, Cameron will cast Junji, and then he drops Grey Merchant of Asphodel. It resolves and Devotion is 5. Cameron will then hit Caden for 3, gain some speed, and then pass the turn. On upkeep, there's an Arcane Denial trigger, and then Sam will draw 2 and discard a Scalding Tarn. When he discards this, his Monument will trigger and he'll draw a card. He'll then play Mountain as land for turn, then cast Braylon. Then a Key to the City. The key is immediately activated, and he discards a Blighted Agent. This will trigger Braylon, and also he gets a treasure token off of his Monument. Max Speed! He'll then sacrifice Starting Column to draw 2 and discard. Monument loses everyone 3, and then there's a Miss Braylon trigger. The turn is then passed to Ethan. He'll draw 2 and discard an Aetherhood. Then he'll cast Gaunty's Aether Heart. With the Harmonicon out, he gains 4 energy on ETB. He'll then play a Great Furnace as land for turn. Well, would you look at that? That's an artifact ETBing 4 more energy. And with all this energy, Ethan will activate Aetherworks Marvel. Oh, that's a portal to Phyrexia. Double ETB trigger, so that wipes the board. And would you look at that? 4 more energy. Cameron's Junji will trigger, and he returns Archfiend of Depravity to the battlefield. After this, Ethan will cast a Territorial Aether Kite, and on ETB he gets 4 more energy. He'll then pass the turn to Caden with a Gaunty's Aether Heart ready to take an extra turn at instant speed. Caden starts his turn off by drawing 2 and discarding Curse Cloth Wrappings. Then he'll play a Cursed Duneyard as land for turn. Next he'll cast a Dimir Signet. Then he'll hard cast the Consecrated Sphinx he's been holding onto all game. Then pass the turn to Cameron. No turns are allowed for Cameron though. Ethan activates Gaunty's Aether Heart. He exiles it and takes an extra turn. Let's see what he can do. On upkeep, Portal to Phyrexia reanimates Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Devotion is only 2 for him though. But you know, Panharmonicon helps with that. So in total, everyone is drained for 4 and Ethan gains 12. Alright, after this, Ethan will recast Saheeli for 8 mana. Then he'll cast a Solar Transformer. He'll get an energy off Saheeli, and then 3 when it enters, and he forgets the Harmonicon extra trigger. Ethan will then move to combat, and he has a Saheeli trigger. He'll pay 3 energy to make another Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Between there being 2 Grey Merchants and a Panharmonicon out, this drains everyone for 8. That brutally murders both Caden and Sam. After this, Ethan will move to combat, and he swings the 5/5 Grey Merchant and the Aether Kite over at Cameron. Cameron blocks the flyer with his flyer, and then he'll Malakir Rebirth it to get it back. So in total, he loses 7 here. Post-combat, Ethan will activate Aetherworks Marvel, and it gets him an Aether Refinery. The turn is then passed to Cameron, and he's in a tough spot. Let's see what he can do. Cavern of Souls is his discard. Then he'll play a Swamp and activate his Cabal Coffers for 10 mana. 5 of it is used to cast an Exquisite Blood. Then he'll cast a Cryptghast, and have 3 mana floating. He'll then tap completely out to go up to 17 mana floating, and then he'll cast Vilis. With Vilis out, he'll pay a black and 2 life to give Grey Merchant of Asphodel -1/-1, and he draws 2 cards. Then he'll do it again, and then one last time to the Grey Merchant to kill it. He'll then do it one final time, going down to 2 life to give Saheeli -1/-1, and he'll draw 2 more cards. At this point, Cameron is just going to try to gain some life, so he'll cast Abyssal Harvester and then equip Lightning Greaves to it. Well, what do you know? Grey Merchant of Asphodel was put in the graveyard this turn, so the Abyssal Harvester is activated and Cameron makes a Nightmare copy of it. No idea why, but Cameron just doesn't represent the copy. It's not on his board anywhere, but Ethan loses 10 and Cameron will gain 10. Then Exquisite Blood will trigger and Cameron gains another 10. He'll then use the last of his mana to give Saheeli -3/-3 until end of turn, and he pays 6 life and draws 6 cards to do this. After this, Vilis is equipped with Lightning Greaves, and then Cameron will move to combat and swing for 13 in the air at Ethan. When it connects, Cameron gains 13. He'll then pass the turn, and on end step, Ethan activates his Refinery to get 2 energy. Alright, let's move to his turn. Life totals are a little more even now. On upkeep, Ethan gets Territorial Aetherkite back. That's a flying haster. On ETB, between the Panharmonicon and the Aether Refinery, Ethan gains 8 energy, and he'll pay 8 energy to deal 8 damage to Cameron's creatures, killing them. He'll then activate his Aether Refinery to get 2 energy, and then he casts, Lightning Runner. Alright, and if that wasn't bad enough, he follows it up with Pyrewood Gearhulk. With Panharmonicon out, all of his creatures gain +4/+4, Vigilance, and Menace. So yeah, that is now a 6/6 Double Striker, a 10/9 Flyer, and an extra combat. And Cameron has no blockers. Yeah, he's dead here. Ethan then just has to move to combat and turn his 2 goons sideways. Oh wait, no he doesn't, because they have Vigilance too. Cameron is super dead here, and that makes Ethan and Saheeli the winners. Congratulations. Welcome one, welcome all to the end of the video. Congratulations to Ethan for winning. I just gotta say, holy crap Robbo, you made a very powerful speed demon deck. This deck was the arch enemy the entire game. These kids were fighting for their lives. And that let Ethan sneak in the win there in the last 2 turns. If you, the viewer, enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit all those wacky links and like and subscribe if you haven't already. That's enough out of me. I hope you all have a smooth day.